Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society. We are grateful to gather on this beautiful morning, both in person and online, for a time of inspiration, reflection, and connection. Whether you join us today with joy in your heart, weighted with burdens, or searching for meaningful connections, we are glad that you are here. I'm Reverend Diana Smith, the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Society. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a somewhat tall white woman in my mid-40s with short, curly white and brown hair, blue-green glasses, a bright green shirt and black suit, and a very colorful universe stole. Standing in UUS's pulpit in the front of our sanctuary and the adjoining Religious Education Commons are filling with people of all ages. And through the window walls of our sanctuary, we connect with the outdoors, where it is a beautiful, sunny, early winter day. As we gather, we give thanks for this land and all who have cared for it over the centuries, particularly the Kickapoo, the Iowa, the Sauk and the Meskwaki, and the Oceti-Sakowin nations. As people of many ages, genders, races, sexual orientations, classes, abilities, and health statuses, we know how important it is to come together and work together to create a radically welcoming spiritual community. As Unitarian Universalists, our faith expresses our core value of love through how we agree to be together and to support each other. We're guided by the shared principles, sources, and values of our living religious tradition. And this morning, as we explore ways that we hold space for healing and our own and each other's feelings and needs, we'll be cultivating our value of transformation, for the ability to adapt to a changing world while maintaining a generous spirit and celebrating everyone's inherent worthiness and wholeness requires that we acknowledge, honor, and process our feelings and needs. If doing something with your hands during our worship services helps you, we invite you to visit the soul work table outside the sanctuary doors and pick up something to work with. If you're newer to our congregation, we invite you to learn more about us after the service. For those who are here in person, you can talk to a greeter in the atrium, and if you're online, we hope you fill out the visitor form in the YouTube show notes. And now our call to worship comes from the Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto, who writes, "Bring your broken hallelujah here. Bring the large one that is beyond repair. Bring the small one that's too soft to share. Bring your broken hallelujah here. I know that people have told you that before you can give, you have to get yourself together. They overstated the value of perfection by a lot. Or they forgot. You are the gift. We all bring some broken things, songs and dreams and long-lost hopes. But here and together, we reach within. As a community, we begin again. And from the pieces, we will build something new. There is work that only you can do. We wait for you."
Opening hymn for this morning is number 212, "We Are Dancing Sarah's Circle." Please rise in body or in spirit. We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. Siblings, kindred old. Here we seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. Siblings, kindred old.
Good morning. I'm Jenna Soot Montgomery. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a white woman in my mid to late 40s, and I'm wearing a very large cranberry sweater that my grandma knit. I'm guessing in the 80s by its volume. The chalice is a call to presence, to be here in this space, with this flame, with these people. And to be here knowing that there are others elsewhere doing the same in their space, with their flame, with their people. To place ourselves before all of that in a space of wonder, small as we are, before the greatness of life's unfolding. Please join me in saying our chalice lighting words as Sebastian, that was our signal, lights our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the wonder and mystery of this great gift. So let us now kindle the flame of our liberal religious heritage and renew our covenant of mutual love and care. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to serve those we need. This we promise, this we covenant with life and one another. We are in the Christian season of Advent, a time of practicing expectation of the type of miracle that ruptures what we think is possible. Advent celebrates light as the days darken in the Northern Hemisphere, and it shares a ritual lineage with Jewish celebrations of the miraculous light of Hanukkah and pagan celebrations of the coming winter solstice. For some, the waiting we practice this month is waiting for the birth of Jesus. For some, it is waiting for the light of Hanukkah. And for some, it is waiting for the longest night and the rebirth of the sun. And for some, it is a practice of waiting for the needed unknown, some help, some solace. December becomes a holy month of waiting, a pause of anticipation, the deep work of expectant wonder. Traditionally, Advent weeks are themed. Last week was hope, and this week is peace. So as I light this candle, I invite you to seek the fleeting whisper of what peace feels like in your body, and to imagine in that radical way that imagination impels us to alter reality, to imagine a world wrapped in that whisper of peace.
Good morning. My name is Nick Kaplan. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the grateful director of Lifespan Religious Education here at UUS. And today is going to be a little bit different. I like when things are a little bit different sometimes. Sometimes that can be really hard, though. But as you notice, I don't usually have blocks up here with me. So I am going to do my best. Yep, those are the same size, to create something really special. And then I have some friends who are going to come along and join me. Let's see. don't add anything? I think I can. I think it's going to be really amazing and spectacular. And, oh no!
Oh, Nick, what a shame. I'm so sorry this happened. Let's talk about it.
How horrible, Nick. I can't bear it. Oh my God. I bet you feel so angry. Let's just shout about it.
Nick, don't worry, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly how it was before.
Oh dear. Let's hide and pretend that nothing happened.
What a mess. Let's just throw it all away.
Please stay with me. You know, I really wanted to show everyone something really cool. I did. And then it had to go and break. That was really aggravating, and I just want to yell and shout. Remember how tall it was getting? It was so exciting. It was past my belly button. It was going to get taller and taller. Oh, I remember how I started with the two pieces and then one went across, and then I went smaller, and it was getting smaller and taller. I just can't. You know, maybe we should just throw every single piece of it in the trash can, and that will be better, because then I won't have to think about it, and the mess will be gone, and I won't worry, because I won't have to see it, because it will all be in the trash. Or maybe we could try again. Maybe we could remember exactly how it started with those three big pieces. And we could build again. We could do it. Okay. I can't wait. This is going to be so amazing. I'm going to go get some more blocks.
Each week, when they head to class, our children light a lantern as a symbol of the love and hope that goes with them as they explore our faith. Children, youth, and teachers, please come forward as Alexander lights our lantern from our chalice. Let's all join in singing "Be Open" as youth, children, and teachers head to religious education. The words are on the screen.
To
Good morning, all you wonderful people. I was given 4 questions to answer and share with you my thoughts. First question is, what is my team, my group? So here it is. The UU Mystics is a relatively new UU community group I founded in autumn 2 years ago, following a discussion with Reverend Diana about what I and others felt was missing for some of our UU members. She gave her wholehearted approval, thank you, and the UU Mystics came out of the closet and into the light. Our overarching purpose is to explore the meaning of spiritual awakening and the meaning and influence of what we are referring to as mystical experiences within that context. We gather to share stories of our personal experiences, explore relevant anecdotal literature and spiritual literature. We invite outside speakers with personal expertise about the paranormal things we're talking about, and dip into the ongoing scientific consciousness research that's blooming, and to learn more about and participate in spiritual practices. Second question, what do I love about it? I love being part of a community of people who, like me, have yearned for a safe place to share what may be our deepest and most meaningful life experiences, but which do not conform to the presiding culture's norms and beliefs. I love that we share decision-making and everyone's stories are honored. I love that the participants are consistently uplifted by our time together. And I love it that we now have a place within the UU, within the UUS, where we feel more fully included within the congregation. Third question, how has being part of it helped me grow? The UU Mystics helped me grow by encouraging me to review my life and publicly affirm my core beliefs that we are more than a mind and a body. In other words, I'm more of a risk taker about what I have experienced personally and what it has led me to believe. And I hope I've grown as a facilitator. The final question put before me to share with you is, how has being part of it helped you share your gifts? I trust that I have helped create a space for unfettered sharing, and it has been my personal mission to facilitate so that everyone is heard and has the opportunity to be fully present with their whole life experience. And as a final note, one of the goals that we have as the UU Mystics, we've tentatively set for ourselves, is to present sometime a Sunday service introducing ourselves more completely to our larger UUS community. Stay tuned.
My name is Bridget Laughlin. I am the ministerial intern here. My pronouns are she, her. I am a short, fat, white woman with dark, long hair and glasses, wearing a green dress. This reading is an excerpt from What It Takes to Heal, How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World by Prentice Hemphill. Prentice Hemphill is an expert embodiment practitioner, therapist, political organizer, writer, and founder of the Embodiment Institute. Our internal world, our flourishing as people, has bearing on the material worlds we inhabit and create. Healing or care is essential for guiding the how of what we build, the visions for the world, and is the principle for how we navigate the challenges therein. When we commit to social change, we remember that systems can perpetuate and create harm, or they can foster healing and resilience. This is especially important to know because we can mean well, be committed, have a vision for change that inspires, but if we are not actively and intentionally attending to our own healing or practicing a healing ethic, we unnecessarily limit what it is that we can do. Most of the time, we come to the work of making the world anew because of the pain that this one has caused. Our wounds can give us the initial surge to fight back, though this energy is fueled by our most frightened, defended, and adrenalized selves. Ultimately, it's not sustainable. The wound grows even as we use it, eating away at the person who holds it, acidifying what we do. Every place of contact or relationship bears potential pain, and our strategy can become too protective rather than tapping into the perspective. We are most powerful when sourcing our energy from possibility, from our visions, not from the pain we know, but from the world just outside of what we can see now. Our energy is most potent when we make room for our grief and anger, when we allow ourselves to feel and our direction becomes clearer. We commit to our own healing in part because the realization of what we are dreaming of rests on it. It is our responsibility to one another to do our own internal work, not so that we feel good alone, but to stay an active part of the whole and refuse to pass down to the next generation what pain we've accrued. Healing ourselves is not the end of the line, but brings us into relationship with others and allows us to do the work that brings healing to the wider world.
Like many of you, as I've processed our current political situation, the reality of the incoming presidential administration, and the work that they're talking about doing, I've been wondering about what our work will be in the coming years, about what it needs to be. The news that has been pouring out can make the prospect of keeping up the work of love and justice feel overwhelming. There seems to always be something new, confusing, confounding, and scary coming up, taking over the chatter, making us wonder about the implications. And while this is likely by design, while these tactics of stirring fear and outrage, of keeping attention fixed, of keeping folks off balance and reacting, of confusion, will no doubt continue given Trump's career and first presidency, as well as what we know about the rise of authoritarianism in other places. The good news is that over the last couple of years, we've gotten a lot of experience here with what it means to be a congregation in similar political circumstances. We've gotten this experience and have responded powerfully through developing things like the learning space, focusing on preemptive radical inclusion, and developing a community of communities where we deepen our communication skills. Taking over 1/5 of our congregation, including most of our leaders, through trans inclusion in congregations. hanging up flags and having a visible justice-making presence in the wider community, continuing our immigration action work by supporting asylum seekers, green sanctuary initiatives that deepen our work here and in the wider community, expanding our whole lives, comprehensive sexuality education, strengthening our racial justice work by deepening our relationship with Johnson County Interfaith Coalition, and, threaded through all of this, cultivating partnerships and cultivating wonder and joy. Yeah, we've done all this. While what exactly we'll need to do in the future will likely change, we know that it is important to stay aware of what is happening while not getting lost in the drama, in the stories, in the reactionary stance that we are being drawn into. We know that it's important to talk about our fears and our differences of opinion, about how to respond to new waves of oppression while still remaining committed to living preemptive radical inclusion and welcome, while being creative and responsive to the needs of those who are most vulnerable and impacted, and to taking up the challenge of responding as a congregation in the various ways that we are called to and that we can, based on our values, resources, and relationships. We know that it's important to respond to various types of oppression, with both visible markers and with actions taken by various communities within this congregation. And we know how important it is to resource ourselves in joy, in compassion, in love, to process our feelings, to do the emotional and spiritual work that helps us be fully present to and hold ourselves and each other. We know that without doing this work, we can quickly get lost, that we can end up burning out. That without it, it becomes easier to fuel our love and justice-making work from anger, which allows division and separation to grow in response to fear and the many needs that we're faced with. That without it, as Prentice Hemphill says, we can end up acidifying all we do and fracturing. And so, some of the most crucial work that we can do right now, while not dropping our justice-making work, is to attune ourselves to presence and attend to our emotional and spiritual healing work. This does not mean getting stuck in our feelings or abandoning the crucial outward-facing work that we do. Rather, it is this work of healing, of transforming ourselves, that makes the other work sustainable, that allows us to change the world. And so how do we do this? This work of being present with, of processing our feelings. Sometimes it can look like sitting with ourselves or someone else and waiting to understand and share the feelings, as Nick and Jenna modeled so beautifully in our enactment of The Rabbit Listened earlier. This is what we do in pastoral care, in many of our small groups, and this is what some of our pastoral care associates do during Compassionate Connection circles after worship services on second and fourth Sundays. And sometimes, practicing presence with and processing our feelings can be about helping the stored energy of them move out of and through our bodies. Sometimes we can do this without even knowing what the feelings are or where they came from, especially when something stirs up old trauma. In My Grandmother's Hands, Resma Menachem discusses ways that all of us can engage in healing work around the ongoing traumas of racism. His work is embodied and begins with finding ways of connecting with and calming our bodies and souls so that we know that we're safe and resilient enough, even in the midst of ongoing trauma, to engage in more healthy and connected ways. So for the next few minutes, I want to invite you to do a few of his beginning exercises with me. Yes, this is going to be congregational participation. As we practice these, If any of them triggers panic or a fight, flight, or freeze response in your body, stop doing it. Before doing it again, I encourage you to find a safe, knowledgeable person to guide you through it. You can touch base with me about how to do that. And so first, I'm going to invite us to hum. Yes, simply hum. To do this, focus your attention on the center of your belly, behind your belly button. Breathe in and out, deeply and slowly, a few times. Feel your belly pull the air all the way down into it. On the fourth or fifth exhalation, hum a low, even tone. Inhale naturally and repeat this a few times, varying your pitch with each new exhalation. If you're doing this at home, you might do this for 2 or 3 minutes. And then, when you stop, notice what your body experiences afterwards. What has changed from before you started humming? What has stayed the same? What sensations, thoughts, and images are arising? What does your body want to do now? Does it want to move? Hum some more. I'll tell you, I want that. That was powerful, being here with so many people. Run and hide? Fight? Without doing anything else, just notice whatever your body is experiencing right now. Another way of doing something similar to this is to hum a simple song that feels comforting. As Menachem says, it can be a gospel, a lullaby, a military march, or a punk rock song. Hum it all the way through from your belly. You can also try singing a simple song. We'll be doing this together during Joys and Sorrows in a few minutes. And this is also something you can try at home or when you're out and about and need to get grounded. You may have noticed the power of singing on a protest march or of singing in the car on the way back to or going to an important gathering. Interestingly, humming and singing can help calm our bodies and our brains. The vibrations actually calm our limbic systems, our reptile brains. This is part of why even singing a tuneless song or humming a few notes, alone or together, can be so healing and such an important part of spiritual practice. Another exercise Menachem gives is belly breathing. When you breathe deeply into your belly and then back out, following your breath along the way. If you've meditated before, that kind of breathing probably feels familiar. But I'm going to take you through one other different one. For this one, get comfortable. Take another few deep, slow breaths, focusing your attention behind your navel again. Relax your shoulders. Rest your tongue gently behind the top row of your teeth. Relax your jaw and let your mouth hang open. Breathe out slowly and firmly. As you exhale, make a buzzing sound like a bee. Extend the buzz and the exhalation as long as you can without strain or discomfort. At home, you might repeat this for 2 or 3 minutes. And then when you stop, notice what you experience in your body. Experiment with different tones, volumes, and vibrations until you find some that feel the most comfortable. These exercises can help us get grounded in our bodies, can help us know that we are safe enough and resilient enough. But sometimes we also have extra energy that we just need to get out. This can happen after an intense meeting, after we hear a hard story from someone we care about, or after listening to a difficult news article, to name a few. One great way of processing those kinds of things, of helping get the energy out, of letting the adrenaline and the cortisol fully move through our systems, is to literally get up and shake it out. This can look like getting up and shaking our whole bodies, top to bottom, maybe even making noises while we do so. I can personally attest that doing that can be a game changer. But sometimes that kind of shaking is not available, either because we're physically not up to it, or because we're in a meeting or other setting where it just won't work, like here. Then you might do something like shaking your leg under a table, or you might shake your hands out. I'm going to invite you to try that now. Sometimes we just got to shake it all out. And the hands, they can do something. Yeah. Another variation on this is to take an object, whether it's a feather duster, your hand, or something else, to just help shed some energy, releasing it back into the ground or into the universe, which sources us all and can absorb difficult things. Or, when I'm experiencing grief, my own ritual is to wait until I'm able, holding the grief from all the things I experience and to hear in my ministry in a space within me. And then when I'm able, go for a walk in the woods or near a river. As I do, I let the grief, the pain, the heartache go back into the earth, the trees, the water, the air, to be metabolized by earth, by God, by the universe. As I do, I pray with whatever words for grief, anger, and pain, whatever words for God or connection make sense to my heart on that day. And in doing so, I am renewed and I find peace. If you want a place to process some of your feelings some more, perhaps practicing some of the exercises we've done today, and doing some other things, we'll be having our Holiday Blues Vespers here this Wednesday, December 11th at 7 p.m. I hope you'll come if you're interested. Practicing these exercises or your own variations of them, that whatever works for you, alone or in company, can help transform us. It can help us get grounded and connected to be present in the ways that we, our community, and the world need now. For we are deeply, intricately, and intimately connected. We need each other to survive and thrive. We need each other's care, love, and creativity. So may it be. Blessed be. Amen.
As we enter our time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer, we acknowledge the joys and sorrows of our congregation. We do this by dropping stones into a bowl of water, symbolically immersing our personal joys and sorrows into the flow of all of life's joys and sorrows. The water surrounds and holds the stone, just as we are surrounded and held by the love and support of this congregation. For those who would like to share their joys or sorrows in conversation in a smaller venue, The Pastoral Care Associates will be leading a Compassionate Connection Circle in the Walnut Room immediately after today's worship service. These circles, which happen on the second and fourth Sundays, are opportunities to share with and support each other in our lives' journeys. If you're participating in our service elsewhere, you may wish to meditatively hold a stone, wash your hands, or meditate on an object near you. And now, if you're in the sanctuary and feel called to do so, please come forward, take a stone from the basket, and place your stone in the water as we sing together.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Sing with me, sing with me, sing with me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Speak for me, speak for me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Dance with me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
Spirit of love and peace, in the midst of this season of activity, we ask for the grace to remain present, to truly be here now. Help us hold space for one another, to offer compassion in moments of stress, to extend patience in times of overwhelm. May we remember that the heart of the season is not found in perfection or in the doing, but in love and time we share with one another. Let us also make time to be present to our true selves. As we navigate the demands of the world, may we honor the rhythm of our lives and the sacredness of community, embracing both the joy and the challenges that come. Spirit of grace, help us be gentle with ourselves and gentle with each other, so that in this season of busyness, we may continue to grow, to love, and to be present, fully alive in this beautiful shared journey. Amen, and blessed be.
We are blessed with the opportunity to give. We hold our abundance with gratitude and then sow it into the community around us. Our community partner agency this month is the Free Medical and Dental Clinic, which provides access to health and dental care in Iowa City and the surrounding communities. The Free Medical and Dental Clinic believes that access to affordable health care is a human right and strives to grant access to these services to those who otherwise wouldn't have access. In the sanctuary, ushers will collect the offering. All cash contributions go directly to our community partner agency and the Community Common Fund. You can follow the instructions on the screen to give online, and if you're writing a check, please use the memo line to designate the purpose. In addition to assisting our community partner, you may contribute towards your pledge or make a gift to support our operating expenses. The offering is a sign of commitment to this free congregation, which is completely supported by the generosity of all who join with us. As we give and receive the offering, may we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts. Our second reading this morning is from Because by Rosemary Watola Trommer. So I can't save the world. I can't even save myself. Can't wrap my arms around every frightened child. Can't foster peace among nations. Can't bring love to all who feel unlovable. So I practice opening my heart right here in this room and being gentle with my insufficiency. I practice walking down the street heart first. And if it is insufficient to share love, I will practice loving anyway. I want to converse about truth, about trust. I want to invite compassion into every interaction. One willing heart can't stop a war. One willing heart can't feed all the hungry. And sometimes, daunted by a task too big, I tell myself, what's the use of trying? But today, the invitation is clear: to be ridiculously courageous in love. To open the heart like a lilac in May, knowing freeze is possible and opening anyway. To take love seriously, to give love wildly, to race up to the world as if I were a puppy, adoring and unjaded, stumbling on my own exuberance. To feel the shock of indifference, of anger, of cruelty, of fear, and stay open. To love as if it matters, as if the world depends on it.
Today, the invitation is clear: to be ridiculously courageous in love. That is what practicing presence with our own and each other's feelings is, what the work of being in community is. Being present with indifference, anger, pain, and grief aren't the most fun things. We all know this. It's why we often shy away from the practice. And yet it is one of the most important things that we can do in these times, because it allows us to stay open to the flow of life, to joy, to hope, to love, to the presence of God, to the possibility of connection. As Unitarian Universalist minister Reverend Rebecca Parker says when she speaks of her experiences with community in her book, Proverbs of Ashes, Violence, Redemptive Suffering, and the Search for What Saves Us, says, "It wasn't the willingness to bear pain or carry the burdens of others that transformed life in the places where life had been harmed by violence. It was the strong relationships among human beings who offered their presence to one another." It was the strong relationships among human beings who offered their presence to one another. And as Prentice Hemphill writes, it is our responsibility to one another to do our own internal work, not so that we feel good alone, but to stay an active part of the whole, and to refuse to pass down to the next generation what pain we've accrued. Healing ourselves is not the end of the line, but brings us into relationship with others and allows us to do the work that brings healing to the wider world. Practicing presence gives us so many options and opportunities in these times. It allows us to experience and open to the flow of life, to joy, to hope, to love, to the possibility of connection in ways that allows us to change the world as we transform ourselves. To help us continue this work together, because it is not the work of one worship service, over the next few weeks, I'm offering a read-along of Prentice Hemphill's book, What It Takes to Heal. I've shared some of this book with you again today, as well as over the past few months. I've been finding it a powerful guide for healing for myself and the work of the wider community in these challenging times. I hope that many of you will join in reading and discussing this book and applying it in your own and our congregational lives, To help us do that, if you're interested, I'll be gathering on Zoom with anyone who's reading it and wants to discuss it on Monday nights at 8 p.m. from now through January 19th. The details with chapters and the Zoom link are in our weekly emails. Because practicing healing work is one of the most crucial things that we can do as we continue to resist growing authoritarianism and living into possibility. As is remembering that we are not alone as we do this work. And so, I'll leave you with another poem from Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto, who writes, "This is a charm for hope. The first thing to do is tie a string around your finger. Remember that you are not alone. Think of the ways that our best shared futures are braided inextricably with your own present and your destiny. The second thing is to untie the string and let the knots and tightness fall away. Let the burden of bleakness roll off your sore shoulders. Resistance on these opaque horizons only requires one source of strength, one ray of light. Remember that persistence doesn't require all answers up front. Only one. Fortunately for all of us, we have one response: to remain together through awkward times and happy ones. We remember and we find our resolve in one another. For we are deeply, intricately, and intimately connected. We need each other to survive and thrive. We need each other's care, love, creativity, and presence. So may it be. Amen. Blessed, blessed be. And now, as we move towards the end of our service, I'd like to introduce Sunju Lee, the director of the Trimble Clefs, who will be providing a concert here later today. Would you come up and tell people about your group?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sunju Lee. I am a PhD student in music therapy at the University of Iowa. Also, I am a director of Trimble Clefs, a choir for people with Parkinson's disease, caregivers, and family members. Do you know anybody who has Parkinson's disease? Okay. What kind of symptoms have you seen from your loved one who has PD, Parkinson's disease? Yes, tremors. What else? That's right, the balance problem. What else? Anxiety. Yes, some psychological symptoms. But also, when someone has Parkinson's disease, they experience some voice and speech difficulties. Their voice gets weak day by day. They have a trouble to enunciate their words clearly, and they experience the loss of volume of their speech. So what we do in Trimble Clefs is using singing as a therapeutic intervention for them to practice their voice for speaking so that they can maintain their voice for the communication. I originally came from South Korea to have a dream to become an opera singer. I came to Arizona State University in 2008 as a voice student, and I really wanted to become a singer. But one day I experienced severe performance anxiety, especially always before I have to sing on the stage. So I talked to my mom. Mom, what should I do? Should I just go back to Korea, just give up my dream to become a singer? And then she said, I have heard about music therapy. I heard music therapy can teach you how to manage your psychological symptoms. Maybe you can reduce your anxiety for singing on the stage. And I heard ASU has music therapy program. Why don't you learn about music therapy and let's see how it goes. I was a pretty good daughter. So I decided to listen to her, and I ended up having a master's in voice performance and music therapy. So I have created a singing group for people with Parkinson's disease called Tremble Clef in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have serving as their director for last 16 years. Then 3 years ago, I decided to pursue my degree in music therapy by becoming a doctoral student so that I can share my knowledge regarding music singing, especially therapeutic singing for people with Parkinson's disease. Then I moved to Iowa. I think that was a great decision because I was able to establish another Tremble Clef here, Iowa City, last year. Luckily, I got to work with my wonderful colleague, Dr. Liu, and I met her, and then she's been serving as the pianist of my group. And this afternoon, we're gonna be here to entertain you. I think this service is talking about the healing power, love, and peace. Tremble Clefs is a perfect example to have you to experience the love of music, the sense of community, and the beauty of music therapy. I can be biased because I am a music therapist, but I can tell you, as a singer who experienced music therapy, I can tell you singing music therapy has a healing power. So I am going to be here today to introduce you the way of using music as a healing power, especially for people with Parkinson's disease. It's very interesting, all of the exercises and activities, the meditation activities that Reverend Diana introduced this morning are the exercise that I am using in Tremble Clefs. So if you want to experience more, please share your beautiful afternoon with me and Tremble Clefs so that I can tell you more about our group. We're going to be here at 2 p.m. in this beautiful sanctuary. Thank you so much for having me this morning. Thank you.
Our worship does not end now. This is just the beginning. May what we have shared ground you in presence and help you open to the wondrous unknown. We gather after the service in the fellowship hall, and if you're new, we welcome you to join us to get some food and let us have conversation with you. Today we'll be having our lunch and learn with a delicious Cuban meal, and then starting around 11:30, 3 of our sponsored asylum seekers will tell their immigration stories, followed by a discussion of future challenges in immigration. And as a reminder for those who'd like to share their joys or sorrows in conversation in a smaller venue, the Pastoral Care Associates will be leading a compassionate connection circle in the Walnut Room right after the service.
We will now sing our closing hymn for today. Where's my sheet? 131, Love Will Guide Us. Please rise in body or in spirit.
On the
Please join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again.
As you go out into the world this day and this week, may you go giving yourself and those around you the gift of presence. Presence with what is, presence with what could be. Go in peace, love, and justice, living love ever more fully and fiercely into this world. Amen, and blessed, blessed be.